Hey guys, what's up? It's Allie Goodwin, and today we're going to be talking about what college parties are really like. For those of you who don't know, I'm a freshman in college, and I didn't go to a single party in high school, like not one. When I first started college, I was so nervous to go to my first party because all of these thoughts were just running through my mind. Like, you know, what do I wear? Do I have to dance at this party? What are parties even really like? And so I'm just gonna tell you guys what college parties are really like, answer all of the questions you probably have if you've never been to a party and you're about to go to your first one. So I hope you enjoy the video, and if you have any other questions that I didn't address, definitely let me know in the comments. The first thing I want to address is alcohol. This was probably my biggest concern about going to my first college party because I had never really drank alcohol in high school, and so I was definitely worried because I didn't know my limit and I didn't know if I had to drink or all this stuff. So I just want to let you know, you do not have to drink at parties if you don't want to. Nobody cares. Sometimes people will come up and say like, hey, do you want me to get you a drink or something? You can decline, you can say no, you can accept the drink, and you can just hold it, and you don't actually have to drink it if you feel awkward and you want to hold something. You could also just make up an excuse like, oh, I've already had a couple drinks, I'm good, and then everyone will just accept it because they don't care and they don't know that you haven't had a couple drinks before coming to the party. And that's totally a good excuse if you want to fit in or whatever, and you definitely don't have to do any of that to fit in. If you don't want to drink, you don't have to, and no one should judge you. The number one thing you have to remember when you go to parties is be safe. It is so easy to lose your friends at a party. Parties are very crowded, people are talking, they're playing music, so it's very loud, and it's very easy for, if a friend is like, hey, I'm gonna go get a drink or whatever, and maybe you didn't hear them, or they go get a drink and then they can't find you guys or whatever, so always stay with your friends. What me and my friends do is we always stay together. So let's say I saw a friend from my astronomy class on the other side of the party and I want to go talk to them, then all of my friends will come with me to go talk to that one friend, just so we never split up at all at a party. Also, to make sure you stay together, I recommend holding hands if you're moving around through the crowd. I know that sounds silly. I remember the first party I went to, we were outside in the backyard of the house talking, and then we all wanted to go into the house where people were dancing and playing music. So we went in a single file line into the house, and one of the girls in our group couldn't get through the crowd. She wasn't as aggressive and didn't push through all the people, so she was still outside in the backyard and we were inside in the room where people dance, and we couldn't find her for a while, and it was scary, and you don't want that. So just hold hands to make sure that you stay together. Okay, I'm just going to kind of explain the setup of parties if you haven't been to one before. I've only been to frat parties, so normally there's an outside area the backyard, and then there's stuff happening inside the house. So normally inside the house there would be one room where they're playing music and everyone's just dancing, so that can be really hot and sweaty and crowded. I love dancing, so that's my favorite part and that's what I love to do, but it's definitely hot, and guys will just come up and dance on you, which is kind of gross. So if you don't want that, you can say no, you can push them away, all of that is totally fine. And if you want to dance with guys, then go for it. And then normally in the outside area, or the backyard of the house, is where people are just talking and socializing, and sometimes they play music outside and sometimes they don't, but normally that's also where the drinks are if you choose to drink. Sometimes they have drinking games going on. Also, people will just come up and start talking to you. And I remember the first party I went to, this guy just came up and was like, hey, what's your major? How are you doing? And I was like, you're a stranger, why are you talking to me? But that's not weird at all. People do it all the time. It's fun to meet new people at parties. So if there's someone you see, a guy or a girl, that you're like, hey, I want to be friends with them, or hey, they're cute, or whatever, it's not weird at all to just go up and start talking to them. People do it all the time, and that's pretty normal at parties. As far as what to wear to parties, sometimes parties have themes. The first party I went to was wear all red. I've been to one that was Hawaiian themed, and you can totally dress up for the theme. If you don't have an outfit that fits the theme, that's not weird at all either. Half the people at the party aren't dressed in the theme, so you don't feel you won't fit in if you didn't dress up for the themed party. And then if it doesn't have a theme, or you just want to wear normal clothes, normally I would just wear a tank top and shorts. All the parties I've been to have been really casual. I try to wear something cute, but you don't have to wear anything fancy or whatever. It's going to be pretty hot and gross at most of the parties, so you definitely want to wear something cute, but that you don't mind if it gets dirty. I remember I was at one party and this guy kept throwing drinks in the air, and I got splashed on a couple of times. So yeah, be aware that things could get spilled on you or whatever. One thing I didn't know before college parties is that guys have to pay to get into them, and I don't know if this is true at every school, but it's true at my school, and a lot of my friends who go to other colleges say this is also true. And some of the parties also ask to see your ID before you go in because they'll put like an X on your hand if you're underage. I would definitely recommend bringing your room key and ID and cash. Those are normally the only 3 things that I bring to parties. I also wouldn't recommend bringing a purse. You definitely can if you want, and I have before, but I just feel like it's an extra thing you have to watch over. I don't know, I'm just paranoid someone could like totally like take something out of my purse and I would have no idea because it's really loud at parties and it's hard to pay attention and like watch over your purse. And no one's ever like tried to steal from my purse before, but I don't know, it's just an extra thing that you have to worry about that you don't want to, so I just put everything in my pocket. And go with a good group of friends that you know are going to have your back and watch out for you and make sure that they don't leave you. I always like try to have like a buddy at a party, which sounds silly, but at least like one girl where I know that we're both going to stay together and we're both going to leave the party together. A lot of times you leave a party at like 3 in the morning, and our frat houses are like a good 20-minute walk from my dorm, so I definitely do not want to be leaving that party alone at night in like an unfamiliar area. So make sure you watch out for your friends, you know, just kind of keeping an eye on how many drinks they've had if they're choosing to drink, and making sure that they're staying safe. And that you have at least one person in your group who isn't going to drink at all, because that's definitely important to have to make sure everybody gets home safely. And if no one in your group wants to drink, that is totally cool too. I think girls just need to watch out for other girls in general, so even if there's a girl that's not in your friend group and she's having some trouble walking or something, or she's lost her friends, definitely help her and look out for just other people at the party, because you hope that people will do the same for you if you were in a situation where you were a little too drunk or you lost your friends or whatever. Also, you just have to remember that some parties are going to be so fun and amazing, and some are just going to be gross or boring or just like hot and sweaty and not fun. So you just have to go to a couple and feel it out and see if college parties are for you. So yeah, be safe, make sure you go with a good group of friends, know your limits, you don't have to drink if you don't want to. I think that kind of sums up the most important things from this video. So yeah, I hope you guys all have a good day and a good week at school. Good luck at your first college party if you're about to go to one. Alright, bye!